Namas-sarvebhyaha sarvesham hardam swagatam. We'll start the class after chanting the Prarthana Shlokas. Krishno rakshadu chara chara guruhu Krishnan namasyamyaham Krishne namara shatravo vinihataha Krishnaya tasmai namaha Krishna deva samutthidan jagatidam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne bhaktirajanjalastu bhagavan He Krishna tubhyan namaha prapanna parijataya totra vetraika panaye jnana mudraya krishnaya Gita mritaduhe namaha vasudeva sutan devam kamsa chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnau vande jagadgurum sarvesham punaswagatam. So we have completed the Gitopadesham, and now some sundry things are there that we can that you're doing. What is it? How we should be done, what should not be done, all those. So here, Yaimam paramang guhyam madbhakte shwapithasyati bhaktim mayi parang krutva mame vaishyatya samshayaha. So here, what is the benefit derived by the one who propagates, who spreads the teachings of the Gita as an act of service to the Lord, as an act of service to the Lord, propagates or spreads the message of Gita, the teachings of Gita. So this is what is given here. So he who with supreme devotion, Yaimam Paramam Uhyam, supreme devotion to me will teach this immensely profound philosophy. Paramam Bhuhyam, that is this immense profound philosophy to my devotees. Madbhakte Shwabhithasyati, shall doubtless come to me alone. So he spreads it, the utmost devotion, the supreme truth to all the other devotees shall doubtless come to me alone. So the good and the beneficial in one increase as and when they are shared with others. Food, for example, food is indispensable and most beneficial to all beings. He who eats in the company or he who shares his food with others gives better health and strength than he who eats all by himself. And this principle is as beneficial and at the ethical and spiritual levels also. When the level of food sharing, it is very useful, it leads to better health. In the spiritual level also, it has got tremendous importance. So by imparting knowledge, that is spreading knowledge and wisdom to others, one gets fully involved in the clarity of the message. He who teaches others learns better than he who studies himself for himself. So the more one teaches, the more one learns. So the one who expounds the Gita ought not to assume the role of a master. That will lead to ego. If you assume something that you're spreading the message. So one ought to feel oneself as an instrument of the Lord in spreading his spiritual message. So one should not feel get it into his head that he is the master on his teaching. Not like that. He's only a tool, an instrument of the Lord, spreading his message. So spiritual service is therefore another means to gain access to divinity. Another means to spreading this message is another means to gain access to divinity. We'll continue.
Kalavati Bhagini.
Yaimam paramam guhyam.
Kalavati Bhagini. Vatsala Bhagini.
Yaidam paramam guhyam Yaidam paramam guhyam.
In some books, it is idam is there. Here we are taking it as imam. Yaimam paramam guhyam.
Yaimam paramam guhyam. Yaimam paramam guhyam.
Madbhakteshvapithasyati.
Madbhakteshvabhitasyati. Madbhakteshvabhitasyati.
Bhaktim mayi parang krutva.
Bhaktin mayi param kritva. Bhaktin mayi param kritva.
Mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Mame vaishyatya samsayaha. Mame vaishyatya samsayaha.
Uttam.
Anita Bhagini.
Yaimam paramam guhyam.
Yaha idam paramam guhyam. Ya idam paramam guhyam.
Madbhakteshvapithasyati.
Madbhakteshvabhidhayisyati. Madbhakteshvabhidhayasi yasyati.
Bhaktim mayi parang krutva.
Bhaktim mayi param kritva. Bhaktim mayi param kitva.
Mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Mame svetya sansayaha. Mame dvesyatya sansayaha.
Uttam.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvapithasyati.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidasyati. Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidasyati.
Bhaktim mayi parang krutva. Mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Bhaktim mayi parang kritva mame vaishyasya samshayaha. Bhaktim mayi parang kritva mame vaishyasya samshayaha. Dhanyavadah Mahoday.
Prema Shriram Bhagini.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvapithasyati.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati. Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati.
Bhaktim mayi parang krutva. Mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Bhaktim mayi parang kritva mame vaishyatya samshayaha. Bhaktim mayi parang kritva mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Uttam.
Hema Bhagini.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvapithasyati. Bhaktim mayi parang krutva. Mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati. Bhaktim mayi parang krutva mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Uttam.
Raghunath Mahodaya.
Yaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati. Bhaktim mayi parang krutva mame vaishyatya samshayaha.
Uttam. Continue. Nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschinme priyakritamaha bhavita nacha me tasmat anyaf priyataro bhuvi. So here Bhagavan says, there are no men who render dearer service to me than he. They are doing the best service to me than he. Nor shall be there another one on earth dearer to me than he. That is spreading the message. The man who is spreading the message is dearer to God than anybody else. And no other person on the earth is dearer to me than he. That's what he says. Nor is there any among men who renders dearer service to me than he, nor shall there be another on earth dearer to me than he. This is what Bhagavan says in this sloka. So all the happenings, great and small, magnificent and minute, taking place in this universe are verily the doings of Ishvara. The universe itself is the revelation of the glory of Ishvara. Among all these manifestations and revelations, the Bhagavad Gita occupies a unique position. It explains the working of the universe and the divinity inherent in it. It expounds, it brings out the laws governing human life. The basic foundation, which is the source of the universe and the beings in it, is clearly presented by it. Knowledge pertaining to the divine and the mundane, that is the earthly world, is all contained in it. So, another way, the ways and the means of attaining Godhood and also making earthly life prosperous and fruitful are convincingly conveyed in it. How to attain Godhood and also making earthly life prosperous, both attaining Godhood as well as attaining earthly life prosperous and fruitful are the ways are given there, or the methods to achieve both are given there. The follower of the Gita would very soon become a yogi. For all these reasons, the carrying of the message of this great book to the prospective sadhakas is a benign, blessed work to spread this message of this Gita to others, to other devotees, is a very blessed work. And no other service is equal to this spiritual mission. The doer of this soul-emancipating service is indeed dear to the Lord, he being instrumental in this solemn act. Bhagavan is giving this message, and that message, these people who expound or speak on it, they spread that message of Bhagavan to more and more devotees. So they are dearer to God than anybody else. This is what Bhagavan says in this. Nachap tasman manusheshu. Hari Om.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Nachatasman manusheshu.
Nachatasman manusheshu. Nachatasman manusheshu.
Kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Kaschinme priyakritamaha. Kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Bhavita nachame tasmad.
Bhavita nachame tasmad. Bhavita nachame tasmad.
Anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Anyaf priyataro bhuvi. Anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Uttam. Dhanyawad.
Vinoda Bhagini.
Nachatasman manusheshu.
Nachatasman manusheshu. Nachatasman manusheshu.
Kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Kaschinme priyakritamaha. Kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Bhavita nachame tasmad.
Bhavita nachame tasmad. Bhavita nachame tasmad.
Anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Anyaf priyataro bhuvi. Anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Uttam.
Vilavarsi Bhagini.
Nachatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Nachatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakritamaha. Nachatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Bhavita nachame tasmad anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Bhavita nachame tasmat anyaf priyataro bhuvi. Bhavita nachame tasmat anyaf priyataro bhuvi.
Uttam.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
Nachatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakritamaha.
Nachatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakritamaha. Nachatasman manusheshu कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः
भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि
भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि
उत्तम
सपना भगिनी
अच तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
You called my name, right?
यस भगिनी
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
उत्तम.
धन्यवाद.
लक्ष्मी एच एस भगिनी
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
उत्तम. अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः. So here Bhagavan says, and he who will study this sacred dialogue, samvadam, that is dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, of hours of Sri Krishna and Arjuna, by him I shall have been worshipped by jnana yajna. Such is my conviction. So who study this sacred dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, who has studied it, so Bhagavan considers him to have worshipped Bhagavan by jnana yoga. That is my conviction. Ishtasyam iti me mati is my conviction that he has worshipped Bhagavan by reading, by listening or reading to this dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Devotedly hearing the exposition of the Bhagavad Gita is one way of learning it. Devotedly listening. A personal pious study of it is another way of making it one's own. One can study oneself Bhagavad Gita. There is no problem in that. So there is also another way you devotedly listen to somebody chanting or that way. So that both will give a clear understanding of the spiritual matters is an effective means for the adoration of the Lord. The very purpose of human life is to adore the Almighty through right understanding and right relationship with Him. So the best way to preach Vedanta is to live Vedanta. Best way to preach is to live Vedanta. So the practice is always superior to precept. That is teaching. The practice is better than teaching. A refined living is superior to a refined exposition of the law of life. One who talks about life, etc. But a refined way of living is better than just talking about a refined life. So preachers may be had in plenty, but those who practice the precept are but few. So those who study the Gita and try to live up to its teaching are performing jnana yoga, jnana yajna. Those who are studying the Gita and living up to its teachings are performing jnana yajna, which is very much pleasing to the Lord. It's again superior form of worship of the Maker. That's what Bhagavan says in this. But that is by listening, one can learn the teachings, or by self-study also one can learn the teachings. Whichever way, best way is to practice those teachings. Continue.
Vatsala Bhagini.
Adhyeshyate chaya imam.
Atyeshyate chaya imam. Atyeshyate chaya imam.
Yayimam.
Yayimam atyeshyate chayayimam.
Dharmyam samvadamavayoho.
Dharmyam samvadamavayoho. Dharmam samvadamavayoho.
Jnana tenaham.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम्
Ishtasyamiti me matihi.
मिष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः मिष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
Here you are chanting it teham ishtasyamiti. You are separating here. So tenaham is over. Then ishtasyamiti me matihi.
इष्टस्यामिति ओके सरिया
This is
इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
here your book, these two will be combined. Tenaham ishtas, it will be there. But we have broken it here. We have split it here. Tenaham ishtasyamiti. Okay.
Kalavati
Sir, I
Bhagini.
have a doubt. Sir, saya imam dharmya, imam varma, iman varma, sir.
Imam only, because we are splitting here.
Okay. Got it.
We are not splitting iman dharmyam, correct?
Okay.
Since we are splitting here, imam only.
Thank you.
Kalavati Bhagini.
Adhyeshyate chaya imam.
अध्येष्यते च ययिमम् अध्येष्यते च ययिमम्
Dharmyam संवादमावयोः.
धर्म्यं चौवादमावयोः धर्म्यं चौवादमावयोः
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम्.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम्
इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः धन्यवाद
Anasuya Bhagini.
अध्येष्यते च ययिमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः.
अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
Padma Vishwanathan Bhagini.
अध्येष्यते च ययिमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः.
अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
उत्तम.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
अध्येष्यते च ययिमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः. ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
उत्तम.
Hema Bhagini.
अध्येष्टते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः
उत्तम. श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्. So श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान्. Here this is Chandrabindu is here. Shubhan Lokan. Like that you must chant it. Shubhan, the nose. Shubhan Lokan. Like that you should chant it. So here, what Bhagavan says here, and the man who hears this, hears this Bhagavad Gita chanting or exposition, full of faith and free from belittling it, or making it laughable, fully, and listening with devotion and faith, even he is liberated from evil, shall attain the auspicious regions of righteousness. So you will also obtain. Those who hears with faith, he may not know the details of all the what we have talked, but he hears it with faith and he follows the principles. He even gains spiritually. So the clear exponent of the Gita, that who explains the Gita, and the one who earnestly practices it, one who only expounds, another person who earnestly practices it, from just hearsay. Hearsay means just people like he has heard that you should not karmanyeva adhikarate. When you this thing you should not expect any results. You should do without expecting results, and you should and also you should renounce everything. All phalam you should renounce. Just he hears that and he practices that. That person, he gets the same benefit as the one who goes on explaining all the Shlokas. Both get the same results. The clarity of understanding is possible both through earnest expounding, explaining, and through ardent hearing. Here, just hearing, you'll be able to get the clarity in understanding. So the impression of on the mind is the same in either case. And an earnest practice is all important, irrespective of the way in which the principles of Gita are assimilated. However you have absorbed the teachings of Gita, earnest practice is essential of the teachings of the Gita. Bhagavan is giving number of tips, advices. So if you practice those things, they are more beneficial to yourself. So we continue.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Shraddhavananasuyascha.
Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shraddhavananasuyascha.
Shrunuyadapi yo naraha.
Shunuyadapi yo naraha. Shunuyadapi yo naraha.
Sopi mukta subhalokan.
Sopi mukta shubhalokan. Sopi mukta shubhalokan.
Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Prapnuyat punya karmanam. Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Uttam.
Varalakshmi Bhagini.
Shraddhavananasuyascha.
Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shraddhavananasuyascha.
Shrunuyadapi yo naraha.
Shunuyatapi yo naraha. Shunuyatapi yo naraha.
Sopi mukta subhalokan.
Sobi mukta shubhalokan. Sobi mukta shubhalokan.
Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Prapnuyat punya karmanam. Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Uttam.
Thank you, sir.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shrunuyadapi yo naraha.
Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shunuyadapi yo naraha. Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shunuyadapi yo naraha.
Sopi mukta subhalokan. Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Sobi mukta shubhalokan. Prapnuyat punya karmanam. Sobi mukta shubhalokan. Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Uttam.
Deva Shriram Bhagini.
Shraddhavananasuyascha. Shrunuyadapi yo naraha.
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः
सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्
सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम् सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्
उत्तम वेल
रघुनाथ महोदय
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
Here Shubhan don't use in Shubhan Lokan like that. In you should not, we should not use Shubhan Lokan.
Shubhan on. Okay.
Shubham Lokan.
Okay, dhanyawad. Shubhan Lokan.
In is are you chanting in?
Yes, sir. I'm chanting that Chandrakara is there, no, sir?
You're chanting that, is it?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's correct.
मीनाक्षी भगिनी
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्
उत्तम वेल chanted. Next sloka. कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय. So here it is but natural for a teacher to inquire if the student has grasped the teaching properly. Sri Krishna has been teaching all the while. So whether Arjuna was going on listening, whether he has understood everything clearly. So in tune with this, you say, the Lord now asks Arjuna as to how he has received this immortal message. Bhagavan is asking. So here, has this been heard by you? Kachideda Srutam Partha. Have you, O Partha, have you heard what all I have talked with an attentive mind? So, Tvayaicagrena Chetasa. With attentive mind, have you heard? Has the delusion of your ignorance been destroyed? Kachidajnana sammoha. So, sammoha, that is ajna, ignorance, delusion. Has it been pranashtasti, has been destroyed? O Dhananjaya. This is what Bhagavan is asking Arjuna. So the concentration of the mind is the criterion for a comprehensive reception of any message delivered. So you need a very concentrated mind. A distracted or an inattentive mind may or may not grasp all the implications of a sublime statement. For profound teachings, one should be very concentrated. Otherwise, it is difficult to grasp the intricacies of the message. A concentrated mind understands the Atman and the Prakriti as they are. Knowledge and ignorance do not coexist. So the former reveals things as they are, while the latter distorts them in divergent ways. So knowledge reveals everything and ignorance will distort everything. So with the dawn of true knowledge, with the rising of the true knowledge, all things, ignorance will vanish of their own accord. The Lord inquires Arjuna if he has been blessed with a true understanding of the import of life, the importance of life, as he understood very clearly. This is what Bhagavan asking Arjuna. Continue.
कलावती भगिनी
Kachite tachrutam partha.
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ
त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः
प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जयः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
उत्तम
इलवर्सी भगिनी
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ
त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः
प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
उत्तम
अनसूया भगिनी
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय धन्यवादः
विनोदा भगिनी
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
उत्तम
पद्मा विश्वनाथन भगिनी
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
सपना भगिनी
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव. So now Arjuna is replying, when ardent disciple, Arjuna was a great disciple. He was not an ordinary student. He was a very, very brilliant student, very, very clear, very pure at heart, very, very earnest student. So he is taught by a worthy master. That is Sri Krishna himself is the teacher. And he is the student. The true enlightenment is bound to ensue from it. He will definitely get the impact of the knowledge. That is very important. So Arjuna's answer is evidence of this fact. So here my delusion is destroyed. Nashto moha. I have gained my memory. Smritir labdha. Gain memory. Tot prasadan mayachudha. And by your grace, tot prasadat mayanichuda. So by your grace, I have regained my memory and my delusion is destroyed, and I am firm. Sthitosmi, I am firm. Gatasandekaka, I am free from doubt. Free from all doubts. I am steady. I am very firm. All doubts are destroyed, and I shall act. Karishye vachanantava. I will act according to your word. This is what Arjuna's immediate reply to Bhagavan's asking. So at the start, Arjuna declined to fight and sat dejected on the seat of the chariot. But the man was thoroughly transformed after hearing the life-invigorating message of the Lord. He made himself entirely to the maker. He gave himself up. He became a disciple. He said, I will follow, I'll prostrate before you and you will teach me how to do. So what is Shreyas? You teach me, like that. He became a disciple and he gave himself up to Sri Krishna and his teaching, which is the last and the best act of the Jivatman. For the Jivatman, it is the best act of giving himself over to the Lord. So in that manner, Arjuna became an instrument of the Lord. He surrendered his individuality and regained identity with the cosmic personality. He regained identity. He became identified with the cosmic advice, cosmic cosmic advice or cosmic command. He had to obey the command of the cosmic entity. So here, the message of the Bhagavad Gita was delivered for the immediate benefit of Arjuna. This was delivered only for the benefit of Arjuna, but it has become the essential advice, infusing life to all the aspirants. Everybody is actually addressing all aspirants, not only to Arjuna. But immediately it was given to Arjuna, but it is applicable to all people. The passage of time does not make it anyway or lose its freshness. It's always fresh. The message is always fresh. It provides the guidance for an abundant life. It cures man of the evil of birth and death. The worthy man for whom it has been imparted made the best use of it and derived the maximum benefit from it. Indications of that blessedness are in evidence in every utterance of Arjuna. He has been blessed. So every part of it is very loaded with profound ideas. So that is given here, that each one he said, Nashto moha smritir labdha tosprasadan mayachuda sthitosmi ratasanteha. So all these are very, very expressions with a lot of, that means he has clearly understood what Bhagavan has told. That is, these are the, by these replies, he reveals that he has fully understood. So Achyuta is the term. He is using the term Achyuta, a term applied here by Arjuna to his master. He who does not deviate from his supreme state is the literal meaning of this word, Achyuta. He does not deviate from his supreme state. And Sri Krishna is verily the embodiment of that supreme state. So whoever gives himself over to that divinity, to that supreme state, he gains divinity in return. Arjuna has undoubtedly surrendered himself to that great being, thereby making himself the inheritor of divinity. He has got divinity by giving himself over to Bhagavan. So here moha nashtaha, nashto mohaha is the next statement by Arjuna. My delusion is destroyed, is the meaning of this utterance. Arjuna was besieged with the delusion of this kind on his initial survey of the battlefield. When he first entered the battlefield, he was deluded. He wanted to see all the relatives standing on either side, whom he has to fight. He was deluded in the battlefield. So earthly life was beset with problems to him. So life seemed an unbearable burden to him. So he was in such a condition. Now he is completely free from delusion. After listening to Bhagavan, he is completely free from delusion. The self-created problems have all melted away as an empty dream. So now he says, Nashto moha. All these things have disappeared. All my delusions have disappeared. Then smriti labdha means I have regained my memory. I have regained my memory. Arjuna has now awakened to reality. In a purified mind, Atma Bodha, or uncontaminated awareness, dawns of its own accord. That is purified mind. One is clear of all doubts. The Atmabodha, that is the awareness, supreme awareness, dawns of its own accord. It will come if the mind is pure. And that experience is here given as regaining one's own memory. That the Jivatman is not a mere creature of circumstances. He has part to play in the functioning of the cosmos. Everyone has a part to play in this world, and that is the part and parcel of the Paramatman, are all realized in the regaining of one's memory. So if one has understood his duty and understood his destroyed all the delusions, he becomes part and parcel of the Paramatman, and he carries out the duties of the Paramatman himself. And then Totprasadat means through your grace. The Lord's grace is indispensable to the reawakening of the Jivatman to his original state. So God's grace is essential for getting this knowledge. Atma Jnana. So Arjuna did not regain memory of his supreme state solely through self-effort. Krishna had his part to play in this respect. Arjuna is fully aware of it. Krishna played a part to regain that his own real nature. So the littleness of the human effort and the greatness of the grace of the Lord are clear in the mind of Arjuna. He humbly submits that it is the grace of Sri Krishna that has made him what he is now. This is what in this view. Then Sthita Asmi, Sthitosmi, I am firm. This is the third excellence come upon him by the mercy of the Lord. One is Nashto Moha, Smritil Labdha, Tatprasadan Mayachuda, Sthitosmi. I have third one. He has become steady. I am firm. He is firm. So he says, so everything Brahma Jnana makes a man firm as a rock. The one fixed in it is Sthita Prajna, a man of steady wisdom. Arjuna has attained that state now. Nothing on earth or in heaven can disturb his understanding. So having gained this jnana once means the wisdom never loses it again. He never loses it again once he has got that Brahma jnana. Then Gata Sandehaha. I'm free from doubt. This is the fourth boon that Arjuna has received. One Shashtomohaha, Smritilabdha, Sthitosmi, and Gata Sandehaha. This is the fourth boon that Arjuna received. No doubt arises in the mind of one who has understood Atman. Self-knowledge, who has gained self-knowledge, no doubt will arise. The Brahmajnani does not doubt the self which he is. That is, Brahmajnani knows that nothing but the Bhagavan is there in him, and he does not doubt the self, that is the super self, higher self, which he is. So his awareness is self-evident in this. Then Tava Vachanam Karishe, Karishe Vachanam Tava. I shall act according to your word. This is Arjuna's concluding statement. What he declined to do at the start, that he chooses to do subsequently. He is now ready to do that act. And this is the result of right understanding. The teachings of scriptures and also that comes from the enlightened master and the spiritual realization of the sadhaka, all these three never come into conflict with another. They simply corroborate with each other. So his self-knowledge and the Bhagavan's teachings and the realization, everything comes in succession, and they reinforce each other and make his mind very strong, and his understanding is clear, crystal clear, and he is ready to do Bhagavan's work. Karishye Vachanam Tava. I will do your whatever you say, I will do it. Bhagavan, Sri Krishna says. Arjuna says to Sri Krishna. You continue.
Varalakshmi Bhagini.
Arjuna uvacha nashto mohasmritir labdha.
Varalakshmi Bhagini.
Yeah. Arjuna uvacha nashto mohas smridir lapta. अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा
लब्धा महाप्राण लब्धा
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 लब्धा नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत तत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि स्थितः अस्मि स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
करिष्ये वचनं तव
करिष्ये वचनं तव करिष्ये वचनं तव I will practice that स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
पुष्पा भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्ध्वा अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि स्थितः स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः
करिष्ये वचनं तव
करिष्ये वचनं तव करिष्ये वचनं तव धन्यवाद
रेमा श्रीराम भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
उत्तमम्
विनोदा भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत
नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
लक्ष्मी किरण भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
लक्ष्मी HS भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
उत्तमम्
धन्यवादः
हेमा भगिनी
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव
उत्तमम् I'll chant the slokas today. Yayimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvapithasyati bhaktim mayi parang krutva mame vaishyatya samshayaha na cha tasman manusyeshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha bhavita na cha me tasmat anya priyataro bhuvi adhyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoh jnana yajnena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihi Shraddhavananasuyascha shrunuyatapi yo naraha sopi mukta shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam kachite tachrutam partha tvayaicagrena cetasa kachidajnana sammohaha pranashtaste dhananjaya Arjuna uvacha Nashto moha smritir labdha Tvatprasadan mayachyuta Sthitosmi gata sandehaha Karishye vachanantava. Samapayamaka, conclude with the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Annyevadah. Punam milamah. Ram Ram Ram.